What's going on, YouTube? Today we're really going over April. April is going to be a massive event in the Elder Scrolls Online. It's got two huge events, probably the two most profitable events in the entirety of the Elder Scrolls Online. We'll be touching upon those. We're going to be talking about what's coming next. We're going to be talking about why the sets and the rewards of the worthy are still super valuable. In fact, when I was listing mine up earlier, for after I gave you guys a suggestion to farm it, I was like, I'll farm some myself. There weren't even other listings of a lot of the items that I was listing up. So there's still a key item to sell here and so much more. We're going to be diving into all that and more, as well as a bit of economic updates, how some of the mats are doing, how's the Crown Store doing, and so on and so forth. So if that sounds interesting to you, I do gold guides as well as other guides, and I like to answer as many questions as I can possibly do for you all, and I will hope you stick around and watch the video. So please like and subscribe. So starting us off, we have the Jester's Event. Now, it's no surprise that the Jester's Event has been ongoing for a little bit now, but I wanted to hit upon three good things that you can be selling during the Jester's Event. And for those of you who may have been watching the game chat going while we're doing the introduction, you can see that the scrap of Minstrel's cloth is actually being purchased. You see, if somebody's going around buying it from zone to zone, they're willing to pay significantly more on a trader. Now, why is that so profitable? You may be wondering. That's because you need to combine 10 to get the costume, but there's actually two other items that are also selling fairly well. It's important to note that that cloth on Xbox is going for over 100,000 gold inside a guild trader, so keep that in mind before you sell it to anyone for 30,000. But there's two other pieces that are selling for a little bit less, and I'll put them on screen here for you. Now, these are used to make mementos, and they also give you achievements. Some people just like to complete achievements and get all the items that they can for these limited time events, so they're selling fairly decently. Now, as far as other things that are doing well during the Jester's Event, which we are currently partaking in ourselves, you're going to be having such as the new motifs that dropped. However, an important distinction is depending on you're watching this, these motifs will go down in value. Brand new motifs are generally at their highest value when they first are released, and they go down slowly over time. Sometimes there's a bit of an uptick at the end of the event because people are scrambling to get them before the event ends. But generally, when people stop talking about them, their value really does kind of plummet over time, unless they are really popular, such as the opal pages, I would say, are a notable exception to those different types of event items. Other really good things that you could be buying, selling, and or doing. Training gear has been selling really well. If you're looking to utilize your crafting characters, selling sets such as Heartland have been doing very well. For those of you who don't know why Heartland is so good, is because Heartland, you can have a double XP weapon enchant on it, which will give you double traded experience essentially from your weapons, which is always really good. People always like extra experience on training sets. And overall, it's just a very easy set to make. It doesn't even require all the traits. So overall, easy peasy. Another one is also Perfect Row from fishing. Now, fishing on console isn't as profitable as it used to be. On PC, it's exceptionally profitable. So what I would do is, if you're seeing things such as Perfect Row at a high value being sold in Deshaun, you can see that there's definitely a lack of Perfect Row on there. Farming is definitely a really great way to make some easy money. And if you want, going for the Master Fisherman achievement is always just really good. If you ever want to know which ones you don't have, you can always check your zone guide. For those of you who don't know, you access the zone guide by clicking your old map button. For Xbox, you hold X, and that brings up the map guide. This actually will tell you pretty much everything you need to know. And as a little fun fact side bit, if you press the X button again and you did not have all the main story missions complete, this would be how you could jump back into the main story mission. Or if you've done all the main story missions from the zone guide, it will actually take you and complete some of these other things, which I think is really helpful, such as the sky shard. So for example, if you do not have all the sky shards, clicking the explore zone eventually will take you and show you where they all are. So it's a good little side note for you, because I love the zone guide and I know a lot of people don't utilize it. But now let's talk about the other pieces coming in April. It takes us to the Jubilee event, probably my favorite ESO event, maybe just beating out Mid-Year Mayhem. I do love Mid-Year Mayhem, but as far as gold making methods, nothing comes close to the Jubilee event, because there's something for everybody. People who just want to farm daily quests to get easy shmoney, people who just want to snipe motifs for a cheap price to relist, people who just want to build their collections with motifs. It is super easy across the board. Now, this is another double XP event, so everything I said about training gear, Perfect Row, all of that will be the same, as well as if you're selling things like Ethereal Dust Those are some great things. However, we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room, and that is, how do you farm these bad boys? And they are going to be coming from these things right here: daily crafting writs, daily delves, daily Alliance War and Battlegrounds quests, daily dungeons and trial quests, and daily heists and sacrament quests. Overall, super easy to farm, and my suggestions are going to simply be daily crafting writs. Daily crafting writs are probably some of the most profitable things that you can do, bar none, in the entirety of the Elder Scrolls Online. Daily delve and world boss quests in specific zones can also be very lucrative and profitable, such as Galen, such as the Gold Coast, such as Blackwood. There are some really good zones, but even zones that have just decent sets that might sell periodically, like Vardenfell, could still be worth doing because they do not take a long time to do. You still have a good chance to roll for some valuable motifs, and you're getting some good gear by doing those. And there's going to be a new bone mold outfit style page, so that's also going to be very lucrative for you to farm. Again, that'll probably be at its highest point at the beginning of the event, and it will slowly trickle down and see a small uptick at the end. I call it the miniature U, because it starts high and then finishes off a little bit low, and then it kind of tapers off. So that's going to be the big point. And again, I'll have a daily video because you guys actually made some really interesting suggestions, such as doing the daily Alliance War quests and things like Coral inside of Cyrodiil, so you can farm those quests back to back to back. I'm still a fan of the daily crafting writs just because you could do it on so many characters. I also love me some daily quests such as the one in Galen, because let's be real here, the sets in Galen are still selling like hot tamales, and I love me some hot tamales. Quick shout out to Cassandra, who messaged me while I was recording this video. Next, I want to talk about Rewards of the Worthy, because I hit upon Rewards of the Worthy in a previous video about a new gold method, how it was super profitable, and that is all stands. That all is very true. However, the reason that I'm putting it into this video is that it's still true. I don't even know if it's more true, but more people are buying the set that are even listing it. I think a lot of people are not utilizing the double XP event on low-level characters, which is actually what I had been doing, and making a little bit of gold from it. What does that mean? It means that I take a level 10, I give him all the double XP stuff, I always slap on some random crafted sets. He just wears Twice Born and Heartland, get that XP, as well as get that double Mundus Stone. Now, important distinction is you're not going to be able to utilize your weapon training trait when you complete a battleground. You just get it from your other activities, such as when I farm Dolems in the interim. So you could easily put something on there like Sharpen, but set that to the side for a moment. Why this is so helpful is most people may not know this, is say Joe Schmo, level 10, little Timmy completes a battleground, he gets a Reward of the Worthy box. You can then open that from your mail on Big Timmy. Big Timmy can open up his Rewards of the Worthy box, and he is going to be able to get some money. And you can actually see one of my event items sold, my joke poppers. This is one of the items we were talking about earlier. But little Timmy will put, he will get mailed the Rewards of the Worthy. You log on to Big Timmy, who's a CP leveled character. He pulls it out. He lists it up. Big Timmy lists it up on the market. He makes a profit. And then you can go back, level up little Timmy again. It's super fun. I think it's a great way to get an introduction into the PvP aspects of the game without having to go into Cyrodiil specifically. I still do plan to make an intro to PvP guide, so stay tuned for that. But this will also be a method that works during both this event and the Jubilee event, because there's double XP. A lot of people are farming battlegrounds right now on low and high level characters just because it's a ton of XP. You might as well do your dailies, including your daily dungeons, on your new characters. And as a quick reminder too, low level characters will only do cupcake easy rainbow dungeons. You don't have to worry about going and doing anything like Frostfall. You're not going to have to turn into a mouse. You're going to do like Spindle Clutch 0, kill a couple spiders, and then you'll get like 50 bajillion XP. So always make sure you guys are still doing that during these double XP events. But this is why Rewards of the Worthy is so good, is a lot of people are not listing up those items, or, and I may not have noticed this, the demand is just so high for those items that a lot of times there's just not any listings. For example, I went to go list a spell or Splinter's Belt. There was 0 listed. I checked a couple traders in Mournhold and there was 0. That is very rare for you to have a very popular set where there's just 0. I guarantee you, if you went for another popular set that's a little bit older, like Mara's Balm, guarantee you there's a bunch of belts listed for different prices depending on trade. So definitely profit off this while it's available too. And let's talk about the next stuff. It's going to be almost like a spotlight for me when I pull it up, so don't judge me. But we're going to be going into the very bright ESO document that I had made, which basically highlights everything that you're basically able to sell for a decent profit. Now, why I really like this item and this, list of things is that, for example, there could be 50 bajillion people who all think to themselves, I'm going to list XP pots to themselves, right? Because ESO's market relies on different traders and different people all kind of going and doing what they think is best at the time. And that may completely make a deficit for like Bewitched Sugar Skulls, which is why I always want to try to educate you guys on items that you can list, especially if you're seeing not a lot of listings for them, because this is all things that will generally sell over time. Some will sell faster than others, but generally all of the things listed here will sell in some rate or another. So if you're noticing a deficit of something like Frostbite, go out, farm some Frostbite, list it up for you. Now, this is generally just a more general list. This works through any month of the year. Obviously, we've got some big juicy events right now that we're really focused on. So this is just kind of a general overview that you can stop and look at and be like, oh yeah, I have a crafted character. Let me take a moment, jot these things down and start listing these up. And another quick tip that you can do that I'll show you here in just 1 second, so you guys can finish up looking at this list here, is that you can actually go in and see how many things are selling and what's selling and how fast they are. So you can actually go into history and you can go all the way down to purchases, and you can see actively right now what is selling and how much it's selling for. 2 minutes ago, this recipe sold. 4 minutes ago, this motive sold. Mother Sorrow staff 4 minutes ago sold for this much. So this will always give you a really good idea. This is an event item right here. So this is a perfect snapshot. Regal Regalia Epaulets, 22,000 gold sold. And then, well, now you can see it went somewhere else because more stuff selling. But this is a perfect snapshot for those of you who are trying to sell things in the here and now. Go to your trade guilds, go to the purchases section, and you're able to actively see how much is selling and for how much in that specific moment in time. But dear friends, that is going to wrap up the April guide. Now, as a quick addendum, I know I hit upon it a little bit earlier, there is going to be a dedicated Jubilee event farming video, because I think that it's a little bit tricky to know how to price check all of the motifs, how to do all those things. So there's going to be a dedicated video, some quick PSAs on which motifs to look out for, as well as which ones you should snipe, as well as which ones you might want to keep for yourself, as well as, which ones, you may want to list up immediately to try selling during the event, and all that and more, as well as an actual farming guide, which dailies to do, and so on and so forth. That'll be a dedicated video, because that's a lot more information that is a little bit separate from just the general overview of April. But just know, I always have in my link description some good price checking apps, and that will be a very good starting point for you if you're looking to sell motifs during the event, and so on and so forth. So that will be the end of this here video. And as a quick reminder, it's April 2nd, which means that we did our giveaway drawing. Here are the winners. We are changing the giveaway very ever so slightly. You can see that we have a random comment, a random subscriber, and then the funniest comment of the month. Now, obviously, the funniest comment of the month is subjective, but I am changing the third giveaway from the funniest comment of the month to my favorite comment of the month. I apologize. I realize I'm just making it even more subjective. But you guys also have been writing some really nice things that I think are just really sweet. So I wanted to highlight some of those comments too, if that was my favorite comment of the month. So I want to thank you guys again for sticking around. Thank you for watching this longer video. Thank you for even giving me as many subscribers as I have. It's been a very amazing journey, and I'm happy to go along with you guys, and so happy to be able to talk about the game that I enjoy playing. So thanks again, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
Oh, you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
Post outro Jake here, and I just feel obligated to let you know the Hoodrat shit that I buy, for myself, with my YouTube money, all the views that you guys help me get. So this month I have invested in a water bowl that flows water for this here cat here. I almost feel obligated to tell you the dumb things that I buy. 1 month we bought a 3D printer. I'm still terrible at 3D printing. That shit just slides right off the platform half the time. But You guys made this all possible. You guys know that I love you deeply, so I always feel like I have to like key you in on, you know, what happens, you know, with the extra money that I don't give back in the giveaway. So this month it was this. Next month, after the 22nd, you'll be able to see whatever random dumb thing that I buy then. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you later. She literally slept around the whole video.